Now, Dr. Thenya, you know, a lot of times, just still on the same topic, a lot of times leaders come into an organization and the first thing they do is they wipe out any trace of Julius Kipngetich. If he's gone at 1 o'clock, by 2 o'clock, everything is gone, you know, from his office. And not just in terms of, you know, physically removing stuff, but even in terms of, getting rid of his perceived henchmen, bringing in my own people. So there's a lot of that goes on in the organization. So rather than us building on the strength of the past leader, you know, if there was strength and there was success there, rather than us building, I come in to try and recreate my new world order or organizational order.
The tragedy of a CEO coming and removing everybody. Of course, that could also be a good thing if the organization was failing.
True.
So the leader, the CEO, should have the leeway, together with the board of directors, to be able to remove the henchmen of Dr. Thenya if, of course, we had really plundered the company, it's on its deathbed, and things really must be sorted out. So I think everything will depend on the circumstances. But as long as the systems, the organization, in the organization have been put in place with a proper board of directors, because now it's no longer one person. The CEO becomes an implementer of the vision that has agreed on from above and from below. Even if the CEO owns a business, it is so critical if we are going to create lasting companies, lasting organizations. It doesn't matter whether it's a church, it doesn't matter whether it is a small business, it doesn't matter whether it's a non-government organization or a community-based organization. Those structures are very, very important for longevity.
Okay. But I still think it's a mark of character for the incoming CEO, particularly where his predecessor had really, you know, developed the organization to build on rather than to tear down and stamp his own authority. But we're going to take questions now from the audience.
How do you implement things like research methodology so as to improve the organization? How do you make sure that your people are working well? Because most of the problems you have here in Kenya is that we have few people in leadership, or maybe there are some who are educated. For example, we don't have very many leaders who have PhDs or masters. People usually tend to look at experience, and I think that's a place where we're also falling back on.
Okay, Dr. Thenya.
I can give you my personal experience in that I actually had no experience. I founded a company, and therefore I made myself the CEO. So I didn't have any experience. And I employ graduates straight from university and have no apologies for that. But there are some things that, for example, in the medical profession, you see, if you've done something for the last 15, 20, 30, 40 years, if you're a brain surgeon, you've done 300 or 3,000 brain surgeries, it's very unlikely that you'll find, because not every brain is the same. You've seen so many brains that you know how to deal with most situations, unlike somebody who's only operated on 2 brains. So experience is very, very key in certain areas. So you can't have a glove that fits all. I think, and this is where systems must be put in place, so that then you have a board that decides on what is the kind of fit are we looking for, what kind of education, what skills, what competencies, what kind of experience. In terms of implementing research methodologies, most organizations, a lot of organizations now are becoming learning organizations, and this is what I was talking about. Come up with a strategic plan, implement, and of course learn. If you have a 5-year strategic plan and 2.5 years is still not working, you'd be foolish to continue implementing it. So you must learn from your failures. You must then do research and find out exactly where did things go wrong.
With this quote from Leroy Ames, who said, "A leader is one who sees more than others see, who sees farther than others see, and who sees before others do." Until next week, lead from where you are. Good night and God bless.